These are 2 bags to consider for everyday carry in 2025. Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? Mikey Messina here with Mikey Daily Carry, and today I'm going to be talking about 2 bags that you could probably consider for 2025. Now, we're about halfway through this year, and these are still great bags, even though they were released a couple years ago. Starting off with this one right here. This is the Navigator Sling. It's all black. It does come in 2 other colors as well. I have the Long Walks fanny pack. This looks exactly like that, just supersized and on steroids. But it's very similar. I want to say the compartments are very similar as well. The material is very similar. It also has this funny little loop right here, which I still don't know what is for. They both have that. So let's talk about it. I don't have this loaded out. Obviously, I still have the tag on there, but I just wanted to talk about why this may be a good option for you. Starting off with the exterior of the bag, you have a very rugged ripstop material on here. It has 1, 2, 3 compartments, and you also have this pass through here for luggage, or you can use this as a shield like a lot of Vertx bags do. On the bottom of the bag, you do have 3 looped line sections where you can put maybe flashlights, maybe add some extra paracords, or you can add a little water bottle compartment, but you do have that on the bottom side and this top side here. What I really like about Vertx bags, I talk about this all the time, is that they have this integrated grab handle right here. There is another grab handle, which is a lot slimmer on the back side. Very much feel like that's like an afterthought, just because this one works just fine and plenty, where you're putting this in and out of the car, real easy to use. You have that there. All the zippers have this type of zipper on there, so that way you can attach this thing, and this is the rapid access pull tab. So that way, wherever you train and have this on your person, you can have that accessibility to rapidly open the bag, get into the compartments inside, and then do your thing. So closing that there. On the back side, I do want to show you that you have this nice padded area. So that way, if this is leaning on your side or on your back, you're gonna have that comfortability on there. You do have a waist strap right here, which I've seen some videos out there where not only do you have this as a messenger bag, where you can sling this over your shoulder and give you guys an idea of how this looks. So you can have this as a sling bag, but you can also use this waist strap and wrap around the waist section. I would never wear it like this. I think it's so silly. For this video, I want to show you guys exactly what you would get if you were considering this bag. I do really like how they have the keepers there, so that way you don't have hanging straps. I hate hanging straps, but you can add this as a waist reinforcement, and it doesn't get in the way of you getting access to your bag. But come on, guys, this looks ridiculous. I would never wear my bag or this bag like this. I know that they offer it in a lot of other bags they sell too, but just not that guy, guys. The strap doesn't have anything super special to it. You have this little area right here where you can loosen and tighten the strap. It's also reinforced here on the bottom side as well. I think that's a little interesting though, where you have it on here and on here. The cool thing is you can take the straps off. So you got that buckle there, got this buckle there. Now you can just have this as a little brief, and this strap you can just toss. So that's pretty cool. And then these you can also take off. You don't have to have these waist straps on there. So now enough about these straps. Let's move on to the interior of the bag. Starting with the front zipper here. It only moves from one side to the other. And you got this section right here, which is all loop line with no other interior organization. Why? Because Vertx has this little accessory in there. You also have taktagami or tactagami accessories that you can put in this bag. Really have it more freeform and suited for what you would typically carry on a day-to-day basis, versus them forcing organization on you and you having to put 3 pens in there when you know damn well you're only going to use 1. So you can actually do whatever you want with that looped interior if you have hook backed things. That's pretty much it in that front zipper. So let's close this up. In the main compartment, you have the zippers just stopping right here, so it doesn't open up full clamshell. That's pretty much all you get. On the backside here, you do have more looped lined sections where you can put more hook back accessories. You have this stopper right here. So if you want to slide, I want to say, just looking at it and gauging, my 11-inch MacBook, not MacBook, my 11-inch iPad Pro can fit in here no problem. And then you do have some extra space right in there where you can put more things. And then you have this front mesh pouch or mesh section. And in here, you don't have any organization either, but you do have a key keeper where you can put some stuff in there. And that's pretty much it in that main compartment area. Now moving on to the CCW compartment. So that's where you have that rapid access pull tab. This does open full clamshell. And so that way, oh, it actually has this right here. So that way, if you don't want to open it full clamshell, this will stop it. And that actually just has a real easy way of snapping on and off. And then you open it up and this is what you get. So this gives you an idea of how you can fill this up with accessories. You only have loop backing on this back side. You don't have it on this front side. Would have been nice to have it on both sides. So maybe a note for the second version of this bag. And then in here, you do have a section where you can put an armor. So that way, Premier Body Armor actually makes a specific body armor for this bag. And that way, if you need to run and gun, you have that on there. You can protect yourself and your extremities. But they have this set up specifically because, let me put these straps back on here. So that way you can have an armor that covers this back side, because it actually has a section here where you can put a plate as well. So you can put 2 plates essentially. And that way, if you're rocking this as like a chess rig, you can open this up and now you're covering yourself up here and down here with both plates. And that's exactly how you can rock this thing. So very innovative. I like how thoughtful they were with creating that design. And that right there is the Navigator Sling. Moving on to this bag here, one of their staples. This right here is the Ready Pack 3.0. There's been 3 versions of this, that's right. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube about this bag already and reviews. I haven't thrown this into rotation yet because obviously, like that last bag still has its own tag on there. I've been actually rocking the Urban Ghost 20 liter, really like that bag. And then eventually I'm gonna throw this in the rotation and that sling into the rotation. But let's talk about some real quick features of this bag, starting with the exterior. On the backside, you have very comfortable shoulder straps. It doesn't come off, it stays on the bag, unlike some other Eberlestock bags that I also have. So that stays on there. You do have some looped lines right here on both sides. So that way, if you want to feed comms or a hydration pack, you have a section right here that's Velcro down on the side and over on this side as well. And you have an area where you can feed it. Actually, you don't. The Gamut has that, where you have one on the top right beneath the grab handle where you can feed that there. The comms or the hoses just feed through the side, which I think is actually better because you go straight to a shoulder strap and then boom. You don't have to go through the middle and then go through that side, which is really cool, very thoughtful. You have different MOLLE attachments on the strap itself, so that way you can adjust the ride height of the sternum strap. Again, sternum strap included, unlike some companies out there that don't include this at all. Makes no freaking sense to me. There goes my gripe. These bags do come off with a quick release buckle right here. As you can see, comes right off just like so, even on this side, depending on how you want to wear it. And then you also have a waist strap on here. I do not rock waist straps on my backpacks or slings. I don't need that extra reinforcement. Maybe if you're going hiking or you're taking this rucking, I find some use case in that. But for my everyday carry, day-to-day use, absolutely not. You can take those off though, so that way you don't have to have this on the backpack. On the backside, talked about this briefly in my Urban Ghost Sling video. It has very nice padding on the backside. It also has padding right here on your lumbar, and it has a good airway pass through. So that way, if you're like me and your back sweats a lot when you're rocking these bags, you're not taking this off and having your back fully drenched. Now you're still gonna get sweat back there, but I think that this pass-through and the padding on there really helps out when I'm rocking this or any of the backpacks that have this on long periods of time. We did briefly review that grab handle right here, but they also have this integrated grab handle that's in a lot of their bags. Has it on that Navigator Sling, had it on that Urban Ghost that I just reviewed. It also has it on the Vertx Gamut and a lot of their other bags. But I really like that because backpacks for me and sling bags are passenger princesses. So I take them off my person, use that handle right here exactly, put it in the passenger seat, then take it when I'm ready to get out of the vehicle. It does have 2 elastic water bottle pockets, one on the left side, one on the right side. It's fairly small, I want to say, but it does have an area here where you can maybe extend or tighten the water bottle holder. I want to say it's much bigger in the Gamut, and probably the Ready Pack 2.0, it's actually bigger. I have a 1 liter Yeti Yonder, and I think that's a little too large for this bag. I mean, I got to give it a try. For sure it fits in the Urban Ghost Sling 20 liter, but I don't know if it'll fit in here. This feels a little too tight. And if it does, it'll probably protrude into the bag itself, which is a bummer sometimes. So let's talk about this. The front pouch opens up like so. You have a lot of these type zipper pulls all across the bag, because if you want to have the rapid access pull tab, which is right here, moved over to one of those zippers or add more rapid access pull tabs on your bag, you can do so. So that opens up and it doesn't go all the way down. You just have a big dump pouch here. A lot of things that you're going to see with Vertx bags is that they're going to have loop lined interiors where you can add their Taktagami accessories or any other accessories that you have that have hook backing onto here. And that way you can have organization personalized for your everyday carry, which I really like. So that goes both ways. It goes zips that way, zips the other way. This front compartment here is a diagonal type zipper. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like that's a little discriminatory to us left-handers, because I would like it if this side was lower than that side, right? Because I'm left-handed, but you don't always win. So I think that slant pocket is a little strange. Could have just left it straight across. I don't know, maybe fire down in the comments below as to why the design was that way. But you have that there, and there's no organization in that pocket as well. It's just a little dump pouch. So let's close that up. By the way, it only zips one way. It only goes from this way, that way. Moving on to this section here. So this front section, like their other Ready packs and their Vertx packs, can be exposed and worn that way. So what I mean is you can tuck this flap into here, and now you have your bag looking like so, where it has a huge laser cut molly webbing area where you can really accessorize however you want. And then you can see the little molly cut laser lines on there where you can attach any pens, shears, knives, any other accessories. And then inside you have a dump pouch, which goes all the way to the bottom of the bag. And then again, more loop line areas where you can customize it the way you want. Small little Vertx logo right there. I don't know if you guys can really see that, but it's very gray, man. And that is the front section. Moving on to the larger compartment, which also doesn't zip down full clamshell. It just stops right where the water bottle seams are. So that's all you get. You have a huge area right here for a laptop or an iPad or a tablet of any sort. And then you have this here that actually holds on to the hose of your hydration bladder, or if you have any comms, you can use that if you are going to use this section here for a hydration bladder. And that also goes to the bottom of the bag. Very huge section right there. You don't have any pockets on the sides of the back, but you do have this mesh pocket right here, which goes pretty deep down. And then on the top here, like you saw in the Navigator Sling, you do have this integrated organizer, which you can put such things like pepper spray, flashlights, pens, knives, whatever. And then you have a pull tab. How this works is you have this section right here where it has this loop integration, and then you put that into there. Now you get the zippers and you zip it up to where you just see that pull tab. Now, if you're using this as a backpack where maybe you're going to be backpacking a AR pistol or some sort, you sling this around, and that way you can find that, open this up, get into your backpack a lot faster, and that way you can get your self-defense tool. Now moving on to the actual CCW compartment. That's going to be this section right here where I just showed you that rapid access pull tab. So comes down, and this is actually full clamshell and opens like so. It's pretty much the same with a lot of their backpacks. You have a pass-through on the bottom here where you can put a plate. Back here, Premier Body Armor sells one specific to this bag. And on the back side is where you have your CCW section or compartment. This is also where you can get more of their hooked back accessories, and you can slap onto this bag as well. Now, feedback that I would have is I would much rather have the hot pull tab on this back side because of this specific section. So if I have an AR pistol that folds up that I can hook onto this backing here, that's going to be much better than the section that they have integrated here, where you don't have that loop backing. It's just nylon. The loop backing is right here where the actual hydration pack goes, or your laptop. That's pretty much it. And this doesn't come off. So I would much rather have that back here, so that way if I'm taking it off, boom, get full access to whatever it is, and then you go. I mean, to each their own. Fire down in the comments, what do you think about that? But that's pretty much it, guys. This is the Ready Pack 3.0 by Vertx. Make sure you check them out. You got the Ready Pack, you have the Navigator Sling. Let me know down in the comments below, is this something that you would rock in 2025, at least for the rest of this year, or maybe a bag that you're considering for 2026? Regardless, I'm gonna have a link to both of these bags in the description of this video. My name is Mikey Messina. This is Mikey Daily Carry. If you found value in this video, give this video a like, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with more videos. And if you want to take it a step further and join Mikey Daily Carry, only $2.99. I'll have that link in the description down below as well. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Walk back.